Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. Today we're going to talk about the greatest mystery in the world of One Piece, the kingdom that existed during the events of the Void Century. Now there are quite a few mysteries relating to the events that occurred during the Void Century, and many facts which we do not know, many of which that are still being revealed little by little. But it's still not enough for us to learn everything that happened during the century that was erased from history. In the little that we do know, it has been confirmed that all these events involve the place that is called the Ancient Kingdom, the greatest kingdom among all the kingdoms of the past, a kingdom that the 20 founders of the world government were afraid of. There's even been heavy speculation that Luffy's predecessors, those who created and possessed the middle initial D, have some relationship to this ancient kingdom that had its history erased. And the ancient kingdom is the real reason they consider the D clan to be the greatest enemies of the world nobles. So in today's video, we'll talk about Luffy's relationship with the ancient kingdom, about the D clan's connection to the celestial dragons, and we'll talk about the real reasons why they and the world nobles have a rivalry between them. If you're new to the channel, we really appreciate your help by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot and motivates us to make new videos. But for now, let's get into the video. So to begin, there are abundant questions about the ancient kingdom. Questions without answers, and we don't really know who lived there, what they did to make the other 20 kingdoms destroy it, and why its existence was erased and has been hidden for so long. What we do know is that the answers involve the wishes of other kingdoms of the past, and it was those kingdoms that came together in the past to create the world government. There are several possibilities that can answer some of these questions, but there is one that actually makes a lot of sense. A possibility that says that the ancestors of the world nobles, the ones who were responsible for causing their destruction and who caused the history of the great kingdom and everyone else to be erased, did so when they realized that the ancient kingdom could become the world government. We know that the kingdoms that became the world government were united, and through this merger, they would have the power to control everything. But they seem to have done this because they knew that the great kingdom alone could actually have controlled everything themselves. Since the beginning, Luffy's surname D has aroused much curiosity among fans, and many have wondered what this D in Luffy's surname could mean, and the hidden meaning behind this surname and the great mysteries connected to it. In one SBS, a fan asked Oda what the D in Luffy's name meant. Now, Oda said it was something very important to the story of One Piece, but for now, he couldn't answer, which makes us have to wait for the answer to be revealed in our story. And by keeping this answer related to the D surname hidden, this may mean that everything is related to something incredibly important, because it could be related to a great family or to a whole kingdom. After all, we have to remember that the Gorosei didn't even let the name of the ancient kingdom ever be said. As we've seen in One Piece, there are several noble families that have descendants with the same surname, such as the case of the Don Quixote family, which is a family of celestial dragons. Doflamingo and Mosgard are from the same family, but are distantly related, so the D family could function in the same way. So several members of the D family could have then lived in the ancient kingdom, Kingdom D as we might call it. However, for unknown reasons, we saw that all the other kingdoms got together to attack them and destroy them. So what would have led them to do that? Now, before we talk about the reason, let's first talk about the bond of enmity that the world nobles have for the D clan. From the beginning, the world nobles have shown themselves to be evil people, always seeking their own benefit while destroying the lives of others. The world nobles only care about themselves and ignore the feelings of other people who are not part of the group of descendants from the kingdoms that formed the world government. They consider themselves deities or gods because of the blood from one of the members who made up the world government. Therefore, not even members of the world government can go against them. Only other world nobles of a higher rank, such as the Gorosei or Im-sama. So they are an absolute law in the world One Piece to themselves. Everything they ask must be carried out, because if they do not comply, the Marines are summoned to defeat the people who do not fulfill their wishes. Generally, wherever they go, they harm anyone in their path, and the Marines do not stop them. In fact, anyone who tries to stop the actions of the world nobles automatically becomes a target for the admirals. In that way, no one dares to interfere with the actions of the celestial dragons. Furthermore, we see that they really don't care about any other kingdom or anyone who lives in those kingdoms. But when it comes to the D clan, they repudiate everyone who has that surname, trying to hide their fear for them. Because, as it is said during the stories, the Ds and the world nobles have been enemies for an incredibly long time. The celestial dragons have even gone as far to consider the Ds as demons, since they consider themselves as the gods. And all this started after the great battle that took place during the Void Century, when the kingdoms united and created the world government. However, if we consider how the D clan has been shown so far in our story, they've never really been shown to have evil desires. Now, that's with the exception of the pirate turned Yonko, Blackbeard, who seems to have different attitudes than the other characters who have initial Ds. But that may also mean he may not actually carry the real will of D. Now, the will of D has yet to be explained, but maybe it's it's linked to a will that will recover what they lost so long ago. The will to restore something that was taken from them during the great battle that took place during the Void Century. We don't know what was carried out by the D-Clan during these events, but we do know that there was a kingdom known as the Ancient Kingdom that may have been home to the D-Clan in the past, and they seem to possess something that made all the other kingdoms want to destroy them. So like I said before, this Ancient Kingdom could have had the power to control the whole world. After all, it was the biggest kingdom among all the existing kingdoms at that time. This fact alone could have caused the other kingdoms to unite to be able to destroy it, so that they could be the power that controls all the Season 1 Piece. This power gave the member of the kingdoms the title of World Nobles, and this would only be possible after the fall of the D-Clan. Now, the World Nobles had to have known that they wouldn't be able to destroy all of the members of the D-Clan, as they were scattered throughout the world, so the World Nobles decided to call the D-Clan enemies of the gods, and created stories where they were monsters. But even so, the will of D may be the one that motivates them today, a will that makes them try to recover everything that was taken from them in the past, with each one following a different path. After all, not even the Ds really know what motivates them. Just consider the fact that Luffy, Law, and the other pirates who have the initial D in their names may be trying to fight for a destiny that they really don't realize, but may discover in the revelation of the One Piece treasure, because there it would be hidden. All the truths about the lost century and what happened to the Ancient Kingdom. Only then would they have enough evidence to be able to take down the world government, marines, and the world nobles. Each member of the D-Clan are also guided in different ways of fighting. For instance, Garp, who might be trying to change the world government from within the marines, while other Ds like Dragon created the revolutionaries to attack the world nobles and the world government directly, because in his view, that would be the only way to really get the celestial dragons removed from power. But because the world nobles fear the actions of the D-Clan and also the possible return of the Ancient Kingdom, the world nobles have used stories and told lies to the whole world, implying that the D-Clan are frightening enemies and should be feared. By doing this, they attempt to totally erase the Ancient Kingdom's legacy in the world, but thanks to someone, possibly Joy Boy, the history of the Great Kingdom was kept alive through the poneglyphs that he scattered throughout the world. These stones reveal the truth about the events of the past, and with the help of his companion Zunisha, Joy Boy was able to spread the poneglyphs all over the world. This lasting legacy made it so that people who were interested in finding out the true history could get hints on where Joy Boy hid more poneglyphs. Now, it's still unknown what relationship Joy Boy had with the D-Clan, but it could be that he was hiding his real name, or the fact that he really was a D, so that through him, the world would know the truth. And this may explain why he was the first person to possess the One Piece. It could be that this treasure might have belonged to the Ancient Kingdom, perhaps even being the wealth that all the 20 kingdoms were after, and keeping this great treasure hidden would be one way that Joy Boy could keep the One Piece safe. Now, during his confrontation with Luffy, Kaido says that it seemed that Luffy couldn't be Joy Boy either, meaning that there is a possibility that Joy Boy is more like a title, or that his will seems to be passed down, and it may even be that Momonosuke has something to do with this title. Perhaps it's a kind of reincarnation or even a unique power, for there are several devil fruits that are related to souls, such as Brooks or even Big Mom's. There's even the remote possibility that Joy Boy may have obtained a devil fruit, so that even after losing his life, his will could be passed on to the next user of the fruit. So perhaps Joy Boy's will has been looking for a D-Clan member so that he can fulfill his mission, just as Momonosuke was able to find Luffy's so that he could reopen the borders of Wano. There are many things that have yet to be revealed, but little by little, we're understanding more about what happened during the Void Century, and with the revolution that Zunisha was traveling with Joy Boy, several new possibilities have arisen, especially the cliffhanger Oda left us in chapter 1043. So hopefully soon, we will learn more about the Ancient Kingdom and what really happened during the Void Century, who the leaders of this mysterious kingdom were, and why the 20 kingdoms had to unite to succeed in overthrowing it. And more importantly than that, what mysteries they were trying to hide in erasing the entire nation. But for now, I'd like to know what you think about it. Who do you think the D-Clan was? Do you think the D-Clan lived in or founded the Ancient Kingdom? And what were they possibly trying to hide? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've made it this far, we'd like to thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. Remember to comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you've made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.